this TBR is chaotic. I'm craving like being terrified. I am a simple person. I am not complex. I am basic like the rest of us. So I feel like I'm gonna be the kind of person to actually like the Darkling, so hey y'all, my name is Merritt. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my January TBR. So in January, I just have to laugh because I have this huge stack next to me of books I'm going to talk about. And guess how many of them are rereads? 6 of them. They're all so chunky, and I'll get to them in just a minute. But y'all should have checked on me, okay? Because I need to finish my reread of the Shadowhunters universe. Something happened to me in December, you guys. I decided to read City of Bones, and then I decided to read City of Ashes, and then I decided to read City of Glass. I forgot what the book was called. And then I decided to pick up Clockwork Angel, which I'm in the middle of right now. So January is going to be the month of rereads for me, for sure, because I have a lot of books that I want to get to just in the Shadowhunters universe alone. And I also have a lot of videos that I want to do, and then I have no idea what I'm going to be reading for them yet, because it's the kind of video where I need to sit down and film myself react, because I'm going to be doing my Enneagram 2 and 3 videos. Hopefully, please don't hold me accountable because I am a mess right now. I want to actually sit down and find the books on camera. So there's like another 4 books that I have to read that I have no idea what they are. So this TBR is chaotic is what I'm saying. It has a lot of rereads, a lot of books that I don't even know what I'm going to be reading, and a lot of books that you might be surprised that I'm going to be reading. This month is just going to be chaotic, but I'm living for it because I've just been mood reading this past month, and oh my god, it's been amazing. Why didn't you guys tell me about this sooner? Like, I know mood reading is a thing, but I have not experienced it since like high school when I didn't have my booktube channel and when I was actually reading consistently. And when I tell you the pure serotonin boost that I get when I pick up a new Shadowhunters book and I don't have to worry about what videos I'm gonna be making, it's incredible. I have no words. So you guys might not be getting amazing content from me this month. I'm really not sorry about it though, because I'm really just trying to enjoy reading and enjoy the books that I'm picking up. I will have videos coming, I promise, but they might be more sit down chatty videos. I hope that's okay, instead of other reading vlogs. So that was a really unnecessarily long intro. Let's just get into the video. So first and foremost, I want to talk about the books that I am going to be reading for videos, because I am still going to be doing that. I don't want to go too in depth on these first few books because I feel like it's really obvious what I'm doing, especially if you know what books I've already read. So if you guys have any guesses as to what I am going to be doing with these next few books, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to know what you guys think I'm doing, but that video should be coming very soon, probably in about a week or 2. And so the first book I'm going to be reading for this vlog is going to be His Only Wife. So this book follows a young seamstress who is arranged to be married to someone, and her husband, or her soon-to-be husband, is very standoffish and she doesn't know why, and then she finds out that he's in love with someone else, and so it kind of goes off from there. Again, I don't want to know too much about it because I don't really like to know too much about the books that I'm going into, and this is one that I'm going to be picking up very, very soon, and so I just kind of want to not have that in my brain, but I will link a Goodreads link in the description if you want to go check that out. Then I'm going to be reading Group by Christy Tate, and this is a nonfiction memoir sort of book, I believe, and it focuses on mental health. Again, don't want to know too much about it. So the next book that I want to read is Chicken Sisters, and I'm just going to read you guys a quick little synopsis from Goodreads because I feel like it encaptures it way more than I could. 3 generations, 2 chicken shacks, 1 recipe for disaster. In tiny Merrimack, Kansas, chicken mimmies and chicken frainies have spent a century vying to serve up the best fried chicken in the state, and the legendary feud between their respective owners, the Moores and the Pogosilios, has lasted just as long. No one feels the impact more than 35-year-old widow Amanda Moore, who grew up working for her mom at Mimi's before marrying Frank Pogosilio and changing sides to work at Franny's. Tired of being caught in the middle, Amanda sends an SOS to Food Wars, the reality TV restaurant competition that promises $100,000 to the winner. But in doing so, she launches both families out of the frying pan and directly into the fire. So this just sounds like such a fun time. It sounds like exactly what I need right now, and it honestly reminds me of Tweet Cute by Emma Lord, which is a book that I loved last year, and so I'm very excited to pick up the Chicken Sisters. Now, those are all the books that I'm going to be specifically reading for videos. As I mentioned before, I am going to be reading about 4 other books for my Enneagram videos, but I have no idea what those are yet, so it is going to be a number included like in how many books I'm reading this month, but I don't know what they are yet, so they're going to be a surprise to y'all and a surprise to me. So now moving on to buddy reads that I'm going to be doing, I actually do have an exciting announcement for you guys. So I am going to be doing a Grishaverse read-along with a couple of my booktube friends, Katie Can't Read, Nicole from Nicole Reads, also Catherine at Catherine Zofria's channel, and Claire from Bookish Potatoes. So I will link all the information for the read-along in the description below for you to check out if you're interested in joining us, but we're going to be reading every single Grishaverse book. I don't even know if I'm saying Grisha right. I have not read any of the original books in the Shadow and Bone series. I have read the Six of Crows duology. I don't even own Six of Crows anymore. I lent it to a friend and I never got it back. But we are going to be reading every single book. So Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows. We're also going to be reading the new duology, all before the release of the new duology's book. Is it a duology or a new series? I don't know. We're going to be reading all of those books up to the TV show's release date in April. So again, if you're interested, go ahead and check out the description. We have a Discord, an Instagram, and a Twitter, and it's gonna be pretty chill, laid back, but we would love to have you guys participate with us. And because of this read along, I am going to be reading Shadow and Bone and also Siege and Storm. Siege? Is that how you say that? Siege? I am very excited because I have never read Shadow and Bone, like I said, and I know that this is a very polarizing book, but I have heard for some reason that if you did not care for Six of Crows very much, you're going to be very into the first series, which is Shadow and Bone. And I like Six of Crows, like I've said it a million times on my channel. I enjoyed it, but it's not my cup of tea personally. I just don't understand the hype fully, but I'm hoping maybe I will once I have the background of the original trilogy. And so maybe the Grishaverse will be more complex than I originally thought it was. And it has been a long time since I have read Six of Crows, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading this original series and reading the rest of them. Hopefully I like them. Hopefully I did not just commit to reading like 8 books that I'm going to hate read. Like that would be awful, but I'm just really excited because I get to read these with a lovely group of ladies on booktube, and I hope you guys can join us. If you don't know what Shadow and Bone is about, let me tell you guys a quick synopsis. So it says, surrounded by enemies, the once great nation of Ravka has been torn in two by the Shadowfold, a swath of near impenetrable darkness crawling with monsters who feast on human flesh. Now its fate may rest on the shoulders of one lonely refugee. Alina Starkov has never been good at anything, but when a regiment is attacked in the fold and her best friend is brutally injured, Alina reveals a dormant power that saves his life, a power that could be the key to setting her war-ravaged country free. Wrenched from everything she knows, Alina is whisked away to the royal court to be trained as a member of the Grisha, the magical elite led by the mysterious Darkling. Yet nothing in this lavish world is what it seems. With darkness looming an entire kingdom depending on her untamed power, Alina will have to confront the secrets of the Grisha and the secrets of her heart. Actually, that sounds so good. I'm actually really excited after reading that synopsis, and also I'm excited to finally know what is up with the Darkling. Everyone on Book Talk talks about the Darkling. Everyone on Book Twitter talks about the Darkling. I need to know this man. I need to know who he is, because apparently like it's bad taste to like him, but also I feel like I'm gonna be the kind of person to actually like the Darkling, so stay tuned for my thoughts on that. The next book that I'm going to be buddy reading is the Page Turner Book Club's pick for this month, and that is Invisible Girl by Lisa Jewell. And this is a thriller by a very renowned thriller writer. I have never read a Lisa Jewell before. I do own one of them, but I have not actually gotten around to it. And I know that Lisa Jewell is very beloved in the booktube community, and so I'm nervous. I'm nervous because I know she writes like a lot of domestic thrillers, and that's personally not my cup of tea. But this cover's pretty, so like maybe I'll like it. Oh my god, I just realized it matches my sweater. Right? It does, right? It's like purple and, you know, that's cute, right? I don't know what I did today, but I woke up and chose chaos. So here's a quick synopsis about Invisible Girl. Owen Pick's life is falling apart. In his 30s, a virgin and living in his aunt's spare bedroom, he has just been suspended from his job as a geography teacher after accusations of sexual misconduct, which he strongly denies. Searching for professional advice online, he is inadvertently sucked into the dark world of incel, involuntary celibate forums where he meets the charismatic, mysterious, and sinister Bryn. Across the street from Owen lives the Forrest family, headed by a mom, Kate, a psychotherapist, and dad, Rowan, a child psychologist. But the Forrest family have had a bad feeling about their neighbor, Owen. He's a bit creepy, and their teenage daughter swears he followed her home from the train station one night. Meanwhile, young Saf Maddox spent 3 years as a patient of Rowan Forrest. Feeling abandoned when their therapy ends, she searches for other ways to maintain her connection with them, following him in the shadows and learning more that she wanted to about Rowan and his family. Then, on Valentine's night, Saf Maddox disappears, and the last person to see her alive is Owen Pick. Okay. So I will be reading Invisible Girl this month, as I said before, because it is the Page Turner Book Club's pick for this month, and I will leave all the information about our book club in the description down below, as well as like the dates of the live show, our Discord, our Instagram, etc., how you can connect with us. We would love to have you guys in the discussion for this book. I'm sure it's going to be an interesting one. I also feel like I haven't read a thriller in a hot minute, so I am excited to pick one up because I'm craving like being terrified. The next book on my list might actually be surprising to a lot of people because one, I haven't read this like ever, and two, just because I feel like it's a book that I wouldn't read, but I also think that this is a book that I could really love, and I am talking about The Hobbit. Now, I am going to be betting reading this with Claire from Bookish Potatoes, my queen. I love her. Go subscribe. But what I want to say about The Hobbit is that I have been wanting to read this for literally forever. Like since middle school, I remember seeing this at the library and being like, oh, I'm too good for that. Like, I don't want to read this classic. And you know what? I really needed to get my head out of the ground because I feel like a lot of people love The Hobbit for really good reason. Like, I'm sure that this book is going to be great. And also, I just feel like an idiot because I love very simplistic fantasy stories, and I'm not saying The Hobbit is simplistic, but what I'm saying is, like, I like a good story about a guy who goes on a journey and stuff happens. Like, that is my prime fantasy, like, ideal novel, and so I'm just surprised that I haven't read this, and I do want to read The Hobbit as well as The Lord of the Rings in the next year. That is one of the goals that I have for myself, and one of the series that I do want to get to, so I am hoping to read this. And if you don't know what The Hobbit is about, I'll quickly give you guys a summary. In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit, not a nasty dirty wet hole filled with the ends of worms and an oozy smell, nor yet a dry bare sandy hole with nothing in it to sit down on or to eat. It was a hobbit hole, and that means comfort. I'm just really excited, guys. Like, I know that this doesn't sound like a book that I would read and enjoy, but like reading that synopsis, like, I'm just so freaking pumped about it because it just sounds like exactly what I want. It sounds like a classic fairy tale kind of situation, and I'm excited to see what the deal is with Bilbo Baggins, Gandalf. Like, I hear all these names and I never know what they mean, and I'm ashamed to admit that I've never read this, but now I'm going to read this and hopefully understand all of these different terminologies and characters and references, and I'm just really excited. So those are all my books that I'm reading for Buddy Reads and for videos this month, so now I'm going to get into the books that I just want to read just because. And because of that, I might get really bad with the synopsises, but you know what? If I read them, I'll talk about them in my wrap up in more detail, and I will try to give you guys like basic synopsises, but also a lot of these books, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, are rereads, and hopefully you guys know what these books are, and hopefully you don't live under a hole. Like, if you're on booktube, you know what these books are, like that I'm about to pull out. So first and foremost, let's talk about Thunderhead. I have been dying to read this since I finished Scythe, and I actually just went ahead and purchased it, so I am hoping to read Thunderhead and The Toll in this next month because I loved Scythe and I really do want to finish this series, but I just haven't made time for it. I keep picking it up and like using it in my book talks. Also, go follow me on Book Talk if you don't follow me there yet, because you're getting extra content, and it's really terrible content, but it's extra. So I'll link that in the description down below as always. That's a side tangent. I just wanted to say that I've been dying to read this. I loved Scythe, as you saw probably in my 24-hour readathon vlog, which I'll link in the cards as well in the description, and I just need to read this book. And so I really do want to get to this by the end of the month. I'll tell you guys a little bit about the first book in this trilogy, Scythe, if you're interested in picking it up. It's basically a utopian society where death has been eradicated, and so there are people called scythes who go off and kill people because death, like, you can't die naturally anymore. And it's just such an interesting concept, and I think it explores a lot of really interesting themes, and it also is just super entertaining from like an enjoyment standpoint. Like, yes, this book will make you think hard about different life concepts and like life and death and like morality, but also it's just a really fun read, and I feel like you can get a lot from just like enjoying the ride. And also, I just loved Rowan. Like, oh, I love him so much, and I need more Rowan content, so hopefully there's lots of it in Thunderhead. And I'll also be trying to read The Toll, which is the third book in that trilogy as well this month. Then I'm hoping to pick up The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and I have heard amazing things about Matt Haig. I've heard amazing things about the humans, and also The Midnight Library, and I don't know too much about this one as well. I was very gratefully gifted this by Michael, and I am so excited to read this and own it because I've heard that it is amazing, and it actually won the best book, I believe, in like the literary fiction category on Goodreads in 2020. Does that mean a whole lot? Maybe not, but I am really excited because I've heard that it talks about mental health, and it's just very magical and whimsical, and I, again, know nothing about it, but I'm very excited to read it because I know everyone who has picked it up has loved it. Then I'm hoping to pick up Spoiler Alert, which I was also gifted by my friend Katie from Katie Can't Read. Thank you, Katie. I would hold it up, but I am at home right now and it is in my dorm, so I will hold it up eventually in a video for you guys, but I do own this book because of my great friend. So it's about this guy who is like a star in a Game of Thrones-esque TV show, and then there's also a girl who like meets this guy, I think at like a convention or something, and she writes fan fiction of his show, and then they like start to get in a relationship, and apparently there's a big secret that the guy in the TV show has in relation to his own TV show, and I'm pretty sure I know what that secret is, but I'm not going to spoil that for you guys because it's not in the official synopsis of the book. But let's just say I'm excited. Next, I'm hoping to pick up A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas, and this is a book that I feel like will be surprising to a lot of people. I don't really talk about Sarah J Maas a lot on my channel. I don't really talk about like my love for ACOTAR, but guys, come on, everyone on booktube loves ACOTAR. I am no different. I am a simple person. I am not complex. I am basic like the rest of us because I love ACOMAF, and I am hoping to read this for Mel's A Court of Roses along. I believe it's what it's called. They're doing an ACOTAR read-along in hopes of finishing all the books before the new book comes out, and I do really want to try and read this before then. So I think what I'm going to do is just pick this up on audiobook sometime whenever I need an audiobook in the next month and be ready for the live show. So if you don't know what the first book is about, A Court of Thorns and Roses, it follows a girl named Feyre who kills a fairy and is then taken to the realm of fairy. And it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but it's a very loose Beauty and the Beast retelling, so don't go into the book thinking it's like gonna be Belle and the Beast in his castle and they're having a dandy time. Like, it is that, but it's not that at all, and it definitely deviates from that in the second book. And so I am just really excited but also scared to read this because this is a book that was like put on a pedestal for me when I was in high school. Like, this was the book. This was it. It made me sob. It made me feel all the feelings. I made like all of my friends who read in high school read the ACOTAR series because I needed someone to scream about it too, because I feel like no one at that point had really read them. And then all of my friends became obsessed with ACOTAR, and we still text about ACOTAR to this day. And it is absurd how much Tamlin and Rhysand has just lived in our minds rent-free for years and years. They're continuing to live rent-free in my mind because I am going to be hopefully reading ACOMAF this next month. Oh my god, it's so big. I don't remember it being this big. The next few books that I'm hoping to reread are Clockwork Prince and Clockwork Princess. So I am currently reading Clockwork Angel, and I'm hoping to have that done before the beginning of January. I am hoping to read these both. I absolutely love this series, but I honestly don't think I like it as much as The Mortal Instruments, which is shocking to me because I just reread The Mortal Instruments, the first 3 books, and I had the most fun time. I loved being with Jace and Clary, and I'm about 100 pages into Clockwork Angel, and I just don't have the same feelings. I don't know if that's like a nostalgia standpoint, even though I did read both of these when I was younger, and I should theoretically have the same nostalgia. I just don't know. There's something about Jace that just like makes my heart explode. I am obsessed with that man, and I would do anything for him to not be a fictional character, but I can't make him real, and that really devastates me. But I also have that feeling towards Will Arundel, so I don't know. I'm having an internal struggle. If you don't know what these books are about, it is another series in the Shadowhunters universe, and it takes place, I believe, in like 1800s London, and it follows a character named Tessa who is taken when she's trying to visit her brother, and then she's like being told she can shapeshift, and it's just a discovery of like what her powers are and what the Shadowhunters world is as she's thrown into it. And it does definitely remind me of The Mortal Instruments because it's about a character, a young girl, getting thrown into this world of the Shadowhunters. But so far I am just really enjoying my reread of it, and I'm excited because after I finish these 2 books, I'm gonna be picking up these 3 books. Is this ambitious for January? Absolutely. But I have read these before, so I feel like I could just speed through them. I am very excited because I just have been craving more Jace and Clary content, and now after City of Glass, I can like actually read and enjoy this content, and I'm just very excited to dive back into it. I don't remember anything about these books, like anything. I just know there's more Sebastian content in them, and that makes me kind of nervous, but also I feel like Sebastian is a better character than Valentine, so I'm not going to get too much into it because it's like spoilers for The Mortal Instruments, but I'm just so happy that I'm rereading this because this is the serotonin boost I needed this year. And then we're going to launch into City of Lost Souls, and lastly, City of Heavenly Fire. And the reason why I wanted to read the Infernal Devices is because I know that City of Heavenly Fire has characters from that series appear in this book, and so I just don't want to get spoiled. Even though it's been years since I've read them, I just feel like I've forgotten a lot of things, and so I don't want to like gasp when I read something and be like, I had no idea that was coming, even though I did. I just don't have a brain cell. So if you don't know what The Mortal Instruments is about, it follows a young girl named Clary who's at a nightclub with her friend Simon, and one day she sees these people killing a person in the nightclub, and she's like, dude, what the heck, you just murdered this dude. And her best friend Simon is like, no, I don't see anyone. And so she thinks she's like internally going crazy. She's like, no, there's these people there, why can't you see them? And so it kind of goes off on a little adventure, and she's like, why can I see these people? Why can't you? Who are these people? Did someone actually just die? And she's thrown into the realm of shadow hunters, which are demon hunters. And I just love this series with my whole heart. I am obsessed with it. I used to love it so much in middle school, and I'm still really loving it now. So I'm very, very happy that I'm rereading these. So that is my very, very, very ambitious January TBR. But like I said, a lot of these are rereads, so I am really hopeful that I'll be able to get through all of them and then some, hopefully, because I have to read for videos and I have to provide content for you guys. If you guys want that. If you don't want that, just let me know. I'll just delete my booktube account. It's fine. But those are all the books that I'm going to be reading in January. I hope you guys enjoyed this very, very, very chaotic video. If you did, don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to my channel down below. I post book related content twice a week. I also have my Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, Amazon wishlist, all that good stuff linked in the description down below if you're interested in connecting with me there. And yeah, that is all for this video today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!